I am Anil Kumar. Welcome to my series on analytic geometry. Here is a test paper from one of my students. We'll discuss it at length. Time for this test paper is just 1 hour and it is to be done without a calculator. The topics which we are considering here are midpoint of a segment, length of a segment, properties of circle, and their applications. Formula list is also provided to you. The midpoint formula, the distance formula, circle equation with center at the origin, center circle equation with center at any general point h and k, the equation of line, and the slope of line as you know. Let's see what the questions are. We have here 4 multiple choice questions. You can actually pause the video now, answer these questions, and then look into my suggestions. Question number 1. The segment with endpoints minus 2, 5 and k1 has length of 5. Find k. 4 choices are given to you. Question number 2. The coordinates of the midpoint of a vertical line segment are 1, 3. Which of the following are possible pairs of endpoints for the line segment? Again, 4 options are given to you. Question number 3. Find the slope of the median from vertex A, 4, 3, if the coordinates of the other 2 points of the triangle are B, 1, 7 and C, minus 1, minus 1. Question number 4. A circle is represented by x squared plus y squared equals to 25. How many of the following points lie on it? 0, 0, minus 3, 4, 4, minus 3, and 5, 0. Now we'll look into the short answer questions. Question number 5. The midpoint of the segment with the endpoint A minus 1, 4 and B, AB is 3, 9. Find the coordinates of the point B. Question number 6. Find the center of the circle that passes through the points A, 1, 6, B, minus 5, 4 and C, minus 3, 8. Write equation of this circle. Question number 7. Find the equation of the right bisector of the segment joining the points minus 3, minus 7 and 5, minus 3. Question number 8. Find the shortest distance of the point P, 2, 5, to the segment joining the points A, 1, 4 and 4, minus 5. Question number 9. The segment AB with the endpoint A 3 minus 8 and B P 4 has length of 13. Find the value of P. You can actually pause the video now, answer all these questions and then look into my suggestions. Let's begin with the solutions of these questions. I actually modified one of these questions, making the shortest distance from, we made it origin, right, from 0, 0. So we just modified this question. Otherwise, the test paper is exactly same. Now here is question number 1, which is the segment with endpoints minus 2, 5 and k1 has a length of 5 units, right? Find the value of k. So we'll use the distance formula d, which is square root of x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square. Substituting the values, we are already given that the length is 5, so 5 squared, and the 2 points are given to us as minus 2, 5 and k1, substituting their values here. Now it is better to square both sides and then write down the equation, and after that you substitute the values as we have done. Now remember, the test paper is without a calculator. So 5 squared is 25 and 1 minus 5 is 4. Minus 4 whole square is 16. So we can take 25 minus 16 on the left side, k plus 2 whole square. Now, at this stage, it is a good practice to square root, right? So remember, a critical step here is square root both sides. Now do not expand. If you expand, then it becomes slightly more tricky to solve. So when you square root, also remember that you need to do positive and negative. So there are two values expected, right? And when you do square root of 9, you get plus minus 3. And so the answer will be k will be equal to minus 2 plus minus 3. And we get two solutions which are minus 5 and 1. Option D is the right option. And so that is our answer. Clear? Let's move on to question number 2. The coordinates of the midpoint of a vertical line are 1, 3. Which of the following are possible pairs of endpoints for the line segment? See, it is a multiple choice question. You should be aware of the time restraint also. We're talking about a vertical line, correct? So on a vertical line, if I have 2 points, then you will know that their x values is always same. Let's say a, and then you have different value for y, correct? But the x values are same, and therefore the midpoint will also have the same x value. So the midpoint should have what? Midpoint will have a as the x value, and the y value will be average of c and d, right? So c plus d over 2. So remember this part while solving this question. So that helps you to find a quick solution to the present question. Clear? So the idea here is that the vertical line will have the same x coordinates, right? So what are we given? We are given that the midpoint is 1, 3, and therefore you're looking for the sets where you have the same x values for the given 2 points. Now that rules away the options A and C, so our answer should be between B and D. Now we have already eliminated 50% of the choices. Now we can test the values, and therefore we are just testing option B. Check the midpoint of the given 2 points. And when we check the midpoint, we do get what was required, right? So we do get 1 minus 3, and therefore that becomes our solution. And that is how we are going to solve it. Question number 3 here is, find the slope of the median from the vertex A, 4, 3, if the coordinates of the other 2 points of the triangle are B is 1, 7 and C is minus 1, minus 1. Now, what is the median? So in any triangle, median is the line segment from the vertex to the midpoint of the opposite side of the triangle. So in this particular case, we are finding the center point from A to the other 2 points, correct? So basically, let's say if we have a triangle like this, we're just drawing a general triangle. In that case, median from A will be to the midpoint, right? So where these 2 points are equally divided, right? So we are looking for A, and we are already given 2 points B and C. So the idea here is to find the midpoint, right? So let us say that D is the midpoint. So first thing is find the midpoint, and then you can find the slope from A to D, correct? So that is what we have to do. And slope, as you know, is y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. So in this case, the median is the line segment from the vertex to the midpoint of the opposite side of a triangle. So let's find the middle value of B and C. So the midpoint is average of x values and average of y values. So when you add 1 and minus 1, you get 0. 7 and minus 1 is 6, divided by 2 is 3. So we have the midpoint, and now we have to find the slope between A and D, which is between point A, which is 4, 3, and D, which is 0, 3. Now here you notice that 3 and 3 are same. Do you see that? So that really means that it is a horizontal line. So have a good look at the note which has been mentioned here, which is that the y coordinates are the same, and so the line is horizontal, and therefore the slope is 0. Even otherwise, when you do 3 minus 3 in the numerator, you get 0, and therefore option A is the right option. So I hope that is absolutely clear. Now here is a question related to circle. A circle is represented by x squared plus y squared equals to 25. How many of the following points lie on it? 0, 0, minus 3, 4, 4 minus 3 and 5, 0. So as soon as you are given this question, it should be very clear in your mind that we are talking about a circle whose center is given to us, right, as origin, correct? And when we know that the radius is 5, correct? In that case, what do you expect? Well, the y-intercept should be minus 5, 5, and x-intercept also minus 5 and 5. Any point here with hypotenuse of 5, those combinations are 3 and 4, correct? So we kind of get this in our image, and therefore we don't really have to do the calculations in a multiple choice test paper. We know that the center is at the origin, correct? The center O is at the origin. So definitely that is not the point which is on the circle. The other 3 points given here are on the circle, and therefore the choice C is the right option. Perfect. Well, if you want to confirm, what you can do is, in such questions, that is, you can take a point, substitute in the equation and verify, right? So I'm just writing here the strategy is that is substitute the point in the equation and verify. So if you get both sides equal, that means the point satisfies the equation and it lies on the circle. So that is what we have done here. We found that the 3 points satisfy and 0, 0 of course will not satisfy. And therefore, the option is C, which says that 3 points will be out of these on the circle. Let's move on and take question number 5. Question number 5 is, the midpoint of the segment with the endpoint A minus 1, 4 and B, AB is C, which is 3, 9. Find the coordinates of the point B. Now in this particular case, what are we given? See, we are given the endpoints, but the B value is not clearly given to us. So at this point, A is given, B is not really given to us, but we are given the midpoint in this particular case. And we need to find the point B, correct? That is the situation. How will you find it? Well, we have to rearrange the formula and get the result, correct? So this is the strategy which should be adopted to solve this particular question. So midpoint formula is the average value of x's and the average values of y's will give you the midpoint. So C is the midpoint, which should be the average value of A and B. Well, the point B is yet to be known. So we have minus 1 plus A divided by 2 and y value is 4 plus B divided by 2. Since we are given that the x value is 3, we can substitute minus 1a plus a divided by 2 as 3 and solve for a. So you can just cross multiply. You get minus 1a equals to 6 and bring that minus 1 to the right hand side. That gives you the value of a as 7. Similarly, for the y value also, equate 9 to 4 plus b over 2 and solve for b. That gives you the result b as 14. And therefore, the endpoint b has been calculated as 714. So I hope the steps are absolutely clear. Now let's take another very important question from this test paper. This is actually of maximum marks in this particular test paper. Also, the question is, find the center of the circle that passes through the point A, B, and C. Write the equation of the circle, correct? So in this particular case, we have to actually find the center of the circle. Now, the concept here is, we're given 3 points A, B, and C. Let us say the 3 points are, let me just draw the points in general. Let's say these are our 3 points, correct? So in that case, we realize that the right bisectors of these points will actually intersect at the center, correct? And that is what is going to help us to find the solution. So the center here will be the right bisector of these points A, B, and C, right? So these are the points A, B, and C which we are considering. So we have to find the midpoints, let us say P and Q, and then the center will be O, will be the intersection of the right bisector. So that's the concept, right? So let's begin with our solution. Right bisector of the chord AB and BC will intersect at the center of the circle. So this is the most important thing which you should know, and then you can continue with the solution. So some of you can now also pause the video, answer this question, and then look into my suggestions. Let P and Q be the midpoints of A, B, and BC, and O be the center. So you'll find the right bisectors. See the steps followed. Step number one is find the midpoint of your segment. So the segment AB will consider these 2 points, and then we find the average values, and we get the midpoint as minus 2, 5. The second step is find the slope of AB. So we're just trying to find the slope of AB, and in this particular case, when you do get slope of 1 over 3, right? y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1 gives you the slope. Now you know the slope of the perpendicular will be negative reciprocal. So the negative reciprocal will be minus 3, right? So this is negative reciprocal, right? So let me write negative reciprocal. So that is how the slope will be for a perpendicular line. So we get the slope of perpendicular line. Now once you get the slope of the perpendicular line, it's easy to get the equation. We know both slope and a point which is minus 2, 5, right? So in this case, slope is minus 3 as we just worked it out, and therefore we'll substitute minus 3, y equals to minus 3x plus b, and then substitute the point which is minus 2 and 5 to find the value of b. That gives us the value of b as minus 1. The result is that the equation of the line is y equals to minus 3x minus 1. Similarly, we will do for the other segment, which is the chord of the circle. So the midpoint in the other case will be minus 4 and 6. We are now considering the point B and C. So the midpoint of BC is Q, which is minus 4 and 6, the average value of x and y, and the slope in this particular case, y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1 is 4 minus 8 divided by minus 5 plus 3, which gives us 2. And the slope of the perpendicular will be negative reciprocal minus half. The equation will be y equals to minus half x plus b. Substituting the point Q, which is minus 4 and 6, we get the value of b as 4. And so we have the equation which is y equals to minus half x plus 4. So I hope this is absolutely clear, right? So go through this once again, see all the calculations. Once you have the two equations, then what are you going to do? We have to find the point of intersection of both the right bisectors, correct? So now find the point of intersection of both the right bisectors. So equate the values of y, right? So equate the values of y. So from both the lines, we have y equals to minus 3x minus 1 and minus half x plus 4. So we substituted both the values and then solve for x. That gives you the value of x as x equals to minus 2. Substitute the value of x equals to minus 2 in any one of these equations and find the value of y, giving the center at minus 2 and 5. Now you have the center. Now to find the equation of the circle, what do you need? You need two things. One is that you need the center point, and then you also need the radius, right? How will you find the radius? Well, when you have found the center, now in that case, you can find the radius by taking the distance from the center to any of the given points A, B, or C. All will be equal, correct? So these will be at equal distance. So that distance we calculated using the point in this particular case to find the radius. So it is equal to, as shown here, square root of 1 plus 2 whole square plus 6 minus 5 whole square, and that is the distance between the center and the point A, which is 1, 6, and gives us the value of square root of 2. So that becomes the radius of the given circle with the center minus 2 and 5. Apply the formula which is known to you as x minus h whole square plus y minus k whole square equals to r square. Substituting the values of the center and the radius, we get our result, which is x plus 2 whole square plus y minus 5 whole square equals to 10. Is that clear to you? So that is how this question is going to be solved. So I hope it is absolutely clear. You can pause the video, look at this solution once again, and then move on to the next question. Question number 7 here is based on right bisector of a line segment. Now the question is, find the equation of right bisector of the segment joining these 2 points. Now to find the right bisector, what are the steps involved? The first step is to find the midpoint, then to find the slope of the segment, and then we from there know the slope of the perpendicular. Now we need to find the equation of the right bisector. It really means use the slope of the perpendicular and the midpoint to find the equation, correct? So we have done the same. So the midpoint of the given points, which are minus 3 7 and minus 7 and 5 minus 3, will be find the average values of the x's and the y's, and you get the midpoint as 1 minus 5. Now, slope of the given segment is y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. That gives you 4 over 8 equals to half. And therefore, the slope of the perpendicular will be negative reciprocal, right? You remember that the slopes m and slope of the perpendicular should always be equal to minus 1. And that is how you get that the slope of the perpendicular is equals to 1 over m minus, right? So negative reciprocal. So remember that perpendicular lines slope product is minus 1. Or we'll say the slope of a perpendicular line will be negative reciprocal of the slope of the line itself. So we now know that in this particular case, slope m is minus 2 and the midpoint m is 1 minus 5. With these 2 points, we can find the equation of the right bisector. So let y be equals to minus 2x plus b, since slope is minus 2. To find the value of b, we'll substitute the midpoint values 1 and minus 5 and find what b is. And b is calculated as equal to minus 3. And therefore, we get our equation, which is y equals to minus 2x minus 3. Perfect. That is how the question is going to be solved. Now here is question number 8, where we're trying to find the shortest distance of the origin from the line joining the points 1, 4 and 4 minus 5. So in this case, I changed the question to find the shortest distance from origin. Okay, so well, first thing is you have to find the equation of the line, which is perpendicular to the given segment, right? And then we know that the origin should be on that particular line. We'll find the point of intersection and also the distance thereafter. So the steps involved here are: step number 1, find the slope of the line segment AB itself. So slope of the line segment is our step number 1, which is y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. And in this case, the slope is minus 5 minus 4 divided by 4 minus 1, which is minus 3. So the equation of the line AB will be y equals to minus 3x plus b. Substituting any one of these points, we chose to substitute A, which is 1 and 4, right? So we substituted point A, which is 1 and 4, to find the value of B. So when you substitute 1 and 4, you get B as equal to 7, and therefore the equation of the line is y equals to minus 3x plus 1. And this is the equation of our line AB, right? So this is the equation of the line segment AB. Now it is important to find the equation of the line segment AB since we need to find the point of intersection with the perpendicular, right? Now, second part of this is to find the equation of the perpendicular, right? So in this case, the slope of the perpendicular will be negative reciprocal of minus 3. So we get the slope as 1 over 3. And the equation will be, since it goes through the point 0, which is origin, right? 0, 0. So we get the equation as y equals to 1 over 3x. Now, we have these two lines. We need to find the point of intersection, and therefore we equated both the equations of the lines. To simplify, we multiply both sides by 3. So at this stage, we did times 3 both sides to get rid of fractions. So once you do times 3, you get minus 3x times 3 is minus 9x, 7 times 3 is 21. This becomes only the value x. And therefore, bringing them together, we get 21 equals to 10x. And so we get x as equal to 21 over 10. Correct? So we get the value of x equals to 21 over 10. Now the x value is known to us. To find the y value, we can substitute this in one of our equations. So we substituted in y equals to 1 over 3 times x, x being 21 over 10. So we get 7 over 10 as the value of y. So we have our coordinate point. And now in step number 3, what we have to do is, so we have the point of intersection, which was step number 3, you can say. And now let us find the distance using the distance formula. The point is 2110, 710, and then we are going to find distance from origin 0, 0. So it is x square plus y square square root. Once you do that, since calculator is not allowed, it is good to factor out the things and then calculate. Well, 10 square and 10 square is the common denominator, right? Think like this. Let me rewrite this so that you understand what I really did within the square root to simplify. So we have 10 square in the denominator, correct? And in the numerator, we have 21 square plus 7 square, right? We have 21 square plus 7 square in the numerator, correct? So we know 21 is 7 times 3, right? So 7 square was common, and therefore we factored 7 over 10. Do you see that? So 7 is common here, right? Within these, they are factored out. We're left with 3 square plus 1 square, which is 9 plus 1, which is 10. So we have 7 square root 10 over 10 as the distance, right? So that is the distance in units. Very important calculation and really helps to work without calculator, right? The last question here is the segment AB with the endpoint A, which is 3 minus 8, and B, P4, has the length of 13. Find the value of P. We had a similar question earlier also in this test paper under the multiple choice when we began with this. I'd like you to now pause the video, answer this question, and then look into my suggestions. Well, we did the same thing. We know the distance formula. We squared both sides. So distance square is x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square. Substituting the values, distance being 13. 13 square equals to p minus 3 whole square plus 4 plus 8 whole square. Now 13 square is equals to p minus 3 whole square plus 12 square. Calculator is not allowed. Do remember that. So 13 square minus 12 square is p minus 3 whole square, and 13 is 169 square, and 12 square is 144, and we get that equals to p minus 3 whole square. So we have 25 as equals to p minus 3 whole square. Now when you do square root, remember you have to do plus and minus, right? You're expecting two solutions. Plus and minus square root of 25 is p minus 3. Bringing 3 to the other side, we do get the value of p, which is equals to 3 plus minus square root of 25, and you get 3 plus 5 as 8, and 3 minus 5 as minus 2. And so we have two solutions for this. P could be 8 or minus 2. So I hope these steps are absolutely clear. Feel free to write your comments, share your views, and if you really want to learn from me, you can always send me an email on the address given here. You can also visit our website to learn more. I hope that really helps. Feel free to write your comments, share your views, and if you like and subscribe to my videos, that'd be great. Thanks for your time and all the best.